Anti-Afro Svengalis. I want to talk about this term that I've heard at various times here on YouTube, more specifically in and around that Umar Johnson sector. How many times have we heard certain subjects continuously claim, I'm not part of any group, I write alone, I'm not a member of a clique, I'm a solo writer, I'm solo dolo. They say this over and over again. And I'm just here to tell you they're full of shit. They're lying. Let me make sure I make this clear. There are those in general who are not easily persuaded, but I'm speaking specifically about those who claim to be solo dolo. They are specifically lying through their teeth, and their behavior is completely counter to their claims. Let me give you an example. They say they ride solo, but they are consumed with what others think about them. They are consumed with what others say about them. They fly into hysterics when anyone says something about them they don't like. They lose their temper. They rant and rave. They run around catching all these panels, arguing for hours and days, rapidly posting live streams and videos, completely torn in tatters. And they say they run solo dolo. They're not part of a group. They're not part of a clique. But this behavior says the opposite. If they are solo dolo, there would not be this degree of angst and anxiety and worry to react to every single thing that someone says about them. Let me give you another sign of the bullshit claim of solo dolo, or I run by myself. And they want you, whoever you are, someone is accusing them of being aligned with you, and you keep denying it. It is important that you get these denials. You continuously issue the same denials over and over and over again. You are consumed and worried that people are accusing you of rocking with AFW. That's a great example. The goo guys, all the crap that they were doing targeting children. They say you're part of the goo guys. Whatever situation that they're attaching you to, what do? They run over to someone who is attached to one of these groups or people, and they want them to say, can you get me off the hook? Can you tell these people that I'm not part of your group? I'm not friends with you, that we don't talk behind the scenes, that we've never had any dealings. Can you tell them, have we ever had any conversations? Why in the hell would you ask somebody to vouch for you that you don't rock with somebody? That is a clue. That is proof right there that you are not solo dolo. That means whatever someone says about you, it matters to somebody. It matters to the people who you are a part of. It matters to those who you need to appease. If it didn't matter, you would never even ask. You would never even say anything. You would never even bring it up. And I'm not saying this doesn't mean you can never make a statement if someone says something about you. I'm talking about frequency. I'm talking about how anxious you are about it. If it consumes you to run around these YouTube streets, I'm not talking about once or twice or saying I'm not dealing with those people, or I've never heard, I don't interact with these people, whatever, and you blow it off a couple times. I'm talking about if it's your mission to please a group of subjects who are haranguing you and harassing you and asking you the same questions over and over. They're digging at you, and you need to get them off your back. And you feel the way to get them off your back is to disassociate with whoever they claim you're rocking with. How many times have we heard people say this about AFW? I don't deal with AFW, or I haven't talked to Anti, but we're not really friends. We're not. I mean, how often have I spoken to her? Not very often. Mona was known for doing that. Mona run around these YouTube streets, got some attention, started enjoying herself, thought she was queen of the hill, but she was queen of the hill with people who were stabbing her in the back. If you're cool with someone and they're not aware that they're being stabbed in the back by others that they think are cool with them, hello, wouldn't you want to know? I think essentially everyone would want to know, but she didn't like that. She got pissed, demanded to know who told me. It doesn't matter who told me. Wouldn't it be more of a concern with those you're spreading your business to get with them? I mean, it obviously was true because of the level of anger and the messages that she left, but didn't appreciate that. I could have said nothing and let her continue to spread her business all over the place. She didn't care about that. She just liked the way it felt that she was getting some attention. It's amazing how so many of these subjects act like the past is erased. They act like the past doesn't exist, and they try to create a scenario as if nobody remembers what really happened. They were the ones who initiated contact. They were the ones who wanted information. They were the ones who were asking for help. They were the ones who sought contact. They were the ones who sought to be close, if you will. They were the ones who wanted to get in. And then they saw an opportunity to be even more recognized by throwing the daggers, by stabbing people in the back. Here, I'll just go stab AFW in the back, or AAS in the back, or Rev G in the back, and people say, hey, what happened? You aren't friends anymore? See, they love to be able to say, I'm going to trash AFW. So people can say, tell us what happened. Well, nothing happened. They decided to show who they really were. And they get even more pissed off because they think, I'm going to come onto YouTube acting like a fool, arguing. I'm not going to get onto YouTube and argue with a backstabber. A backstabber is a backstabber. What is there to argue about? The backstabbers reveal themselves to be who they are. What argument is there to be had? What story is there to tell? There is no story to tell from my end. I mean, these phony baloney I ride solo dolos will go to such extremes as to go and create a channel, or they'll start going live. And within the second, or definitely by the third live stream, they've made up some lie about me, AFW, Rev G, friends and supporters, and that's how they launch their channel. Or they're not really getting enough attention or action on their channel, so they start floating stories or allowing people to come to their channel and spread lies about us. That's how they get their attention. And then they turn around and say, I'm all by myself. I'm independent. No, you're not independent. You are very much dependent on evil, wicked ways and those who cater to those evil, wicked ways, and those who cater to putting out and dispensing lies, slander, who engage in harassing behavior. That is very much anti-solo dolo. You're doing the same behaviors of those that you claim you're not associated with. And then you turn around and say that you're on your own. Not on your own. You're not going to be accepted unless you do what they tell you to do, which is attack people, innocent people, unprovoked. If you don't attack the innocent people unprovoked, you will not be accepted into the group. You are not solo dolo. You are very much dependent on that group who gives you orders. Look at Antonio Johnson, DJ Jackass. He needed to be accepted. He needed to feel wanted. So he gathered all of these so-called solo dolos, who they're all saying they don't rock with anyone else as a group. He claimed he didn't rock with anyone as a group. But what was he doing? Every week, following along with what the group expected of him. Looking up people's information illegally, dispensing the information illegally, going behind the scenes illegally, receiving stolen information and dispensing it. Isn't that part of a group? Yes, that was part of a group. We have someone on probation who associates with felons and associating with people who are now threatening violence and travel to people's homes and invoking children back in the same situation he was in. Yeah, Laquan Fisher was associating with Grown Mold, giving Grown Mold money, a convicted felon, although he's on probation, he's on active formal probation. That's part of a group. Giving money, dealing with Dumpsy D. Durrell behind the scenes, passing around stolen information, paying people, but now he's hooked up with someone else who's making threats of violence right here on YouTube and invoking children. See, the patterns don't change. You can't say it's solo dolo because it's a group participation process. If you don't engage in that behavior, you are not welcome in that group. You can shove this solo dolo where the sun doesn't shine. None of those subjects are solo dolo. They're all gathered together in the viper's den, the demonic cave, dancing around the evil demonic bonfire, grabbing at the Ouija board. They're in it together. There is no solo dolo. Asking people to say whether or not you've had conversations behind the scenes. Who the hell's business would it be anyway? Who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to appease? Who do you need to believe you? If you're solo dolo, it's not going to matter whether somebody believes you or not. You wouldn't give a shit. You would not care if somebody believes you when you tell them whether or not you're dealing with someone behind the scenes. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even lower yourself down to that level. Repeatedly, again, X out the a couple of times you can tell someone to take a hike. But if you do it, it is your mission. You must gain the agreement. You must gain the acceptance. You must gain the approval of those who keep haranguing and harassing you. You are not solo dolo. You are so concerned with what others will think if they even have an inkling that you had conversations with me, AAS, or Rev G, or friends or supporters. Having the answers to those questions will do what? How is it going to enhance the lives of those who want this information so badly? It's not that they want their information so badly, although they do. They want you to bend at their whim. They want you to listen to what they say. They want you to feel concerned or worried that they're not going to accept you. They're not going to like you. They're not going to welcome you into their fold. And you are catering to their demands. It's important to you what they think. This is why you work so hard to deny that you talk to this person, or you've talked to that person, or you've never spoken to that person, or how many times you've spoken to whoever, because you are appeasing. You are acquiescing to their demands for information. I've always maintained, I frankly don't think it's anybody's business. That's just my position. How is it somebody else's business who you speak to behind the scenes in general? Now, if you choose to go ahead and tell people, you have a right to do that. You can say whatever you want. But I have a feeling these subjects are so desperate to prove who they do and don't talk to, they just might give their phone bills up if the evidence would back them up. But in so many instances, they're not even telling the truth. They're not even being honest about who they're dealing with. I'm not going to say anything. I don't give a crap. It doesn't matter to me what they think about who I speak to or don't talk to. I don't have any obligation to disclose that to anybody. But if you are desperate to be included and you're so fearful about being excluded, you're going to give the information. You're going to work extra hard to try to convince idiots who don't give a damn about you that you're not talking to certain people, that you haven't spoken to certain people. You're concerned that you will not be accepted. You will not be welcome around. And the other comment that I've heard before, which I think is bizarre, I can't even conceive of this being something that I would ever give a shit about. Oh, AFW, they don't have any place to go. There's no live streams they can go to. There's no chats they can go to. See, there you go. And guess who says this? Those who swear they're solo dolo. This is a reflection of how they feel. This is their fear that they are expressing. That thought never crossed my mind about having, quote, no place to go on YouTube. That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense if you're desperate for people to like you. It makes sense if you need to feel accepted. It makes sense if you fear rejection. It makes sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't have anywhere to go. That's a total asinine statement in my mind. That doesn't make any sense in my world. I don't have a place to go. See, they're trying to put themselves in my position, wanting me to appeal to them, and I'm supposed to want to be in their presence. I don't want to be in your presence. If I want to be somewhere, I'll go be there. If I don't want to be somewhere, you're not going to see me there. You can't force me to want to be somewhere I don't want to be. See, the difference is these other subjects have to be in certain places or they're going to feel lost. They have to be in these places or they're going to feel that nobody likes them. They will go to the ends of the earth to please these other subjects to the point they will destroy their career. They will destroy their family. They will place themselves at risk for criminal charges. They will risk their freedom trying to please these subjects while they claim they're solo dolo, not risking my freedom, my career for anything or anybody on YouTube. Never have. The thought never crossed my mind. But what do we have here? We have multiple people who have lost careers, lost jobs, destroyed relationships, all the while claiming they're solo dolo and claiming that AFW is a clique and a cult and all this other shit. Well, we haven't been in that situation. They have destroyed themselves. They end up on the freaking news. Carrie lost a job. She got fired. Antonio Johnson got fired. He lost a job. Let me see your handcuffs. Lost 2 jobs. Fired from 2 jobs. I can start listing others. Where's Mona? She up and disappeared. She knows the gauntlet is coming. There are others. There are others who engaged in this bullshit, all the while saying they're solo dolo, while they are passing around stolen Social Security information that was stolen out of protected systems. And they say they're solo dolo, they ride by themselves. Then how do they get caught up in this? On probation, associating with criminals and trying to lie to probation and saying they don't know us. That's a bunch of bullshit. They know exactly who you are. They identified Antonio Johnson. They identified Laquan Fisher. Let me back up. Antonio Johnson, DJ Drama, and Laquan Fisher, Ray Triggs, Rage Pigs. Both of them have been identified by probation. I don't give a damn what anybody here on YouTube says. It doesn't make a difference. Did it make a difference what anybody on YouTube said? Antonio Johnson got his ass fired, and none of you could do anything to stop it. It doesn't matter what you all say. Claiming to be solo dolo, you are dependent on each other, you're riding together, and you're going to fall together. You are not solo dolo. If you were solo dolo, your asses wouldn't be in the positions that you're in now. So many of you are in so much trouble, you have no freaking clue. Because what? You're not solo dolo. You engaged in this perpetration of this bullshit and these crimes, and the shit is coming back to bite you in the ass. So you can shove your solo dolo. You're not solo dolo. You depend on each other for all this bullshit. You are together going down. Listen, folks, I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.